Hi, besties. Welcome to the podcast where we're all friends because we love all things Bravo, pop culture, and can't stop talking
Having
about
so much fun.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Bravo should be fun.
I'm Caitlin Marshall, your host here at Besties by Bravo. Allegedly allegations, where we're in a safe space to gossip, share our thoughts, and opinions.
That girl's a liar. That girl's a liar.
About the Bravo celebrities, shows, and celebs we love, hate, and
that's when
love
Chef
to
goes,
hate.
Oh, suddenly now you're so religious?
So be cool. Don't be all uncool.
He went on a podcast claiming he had a threesome with two women from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Immediately, I was like, I wonder if it's Brandy and Carlton.
Because sometimes things may get a little, well, ridiculous.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. There's a spider that is coming down. Hold on. Ah! Oh my God!
It's like the Blair Witch Project or something. All you can hear in the background is, oh my God, has anybody seen my ring?
Oh my God.
I don't want to ruin the party or anything.
Have you seen my ring? Oh my God, can you look on the floor for my ring? God, someone's gonna kill me.
Don't mess with me because I will come.
What? Oh.
Feel free to leave that in for whatever entertainment purposes.
I'm so glad you're here to enjoy the fun. So, thank you for joining me on Besties by Bravo.
Hi, besties.
That intro gets me every time.
You know,
Every time. The
poor
screaming,
Georgio.
it's like a murder happened. It's crazy. What a
It
spider
basically
will do
was.
to me.
You know, I'm just, it just brings a smile to my face every time. So I just have to keep it in there. It was too fun.
No, it's perfect. And I
We
might
need
need to add it to my reel, actually.
Yes. Add it to that reel, add it to your acting reel, add it to all of your stuff. I think it's very important. Okay. You know what? Happy Friday Eve, friends. I'm so glad you're all here. And I'm so glad you're here, Georgio. Of course.
I'm so glad to be here.
So, part one of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion. I would say, jumping into gossip, now I have a really stupid question that I meant to ask you. Sorry, friends, that we were a little late. But that being said, because we were chit-chatting, we're friends in real life. So that kind of, we have to chit-chat and talk. Georgio, I saw something that I'm like, I know this is a joke. It has to be. It's so stupid.
Uh-oh.
People are saying that Erica Jane and Garcelle's son Oliver are
Oh my
dating.
God, I saw this. Are you kidding me? First
Tell
of
me
all,
you know about this. It has to be. It's a joke, right? It's a joke.
First of all, well, let's be clear. We can't just take things at
No.
face value anymore because we learned our lesson with Scandival and
Yeah.
with the Salt Lake City of it all. But I do think this one's a little bit far-fetched because how in the world is she going to navigate that with being on the show? Like,
No way.
what is she going to be next season, bringing him to like dates while
Stop
she's
it.
filming with his mom? Like, that's too close for comfort. I don't think that Garcelle would go for that. But you never know. Love is love.
I mean, they would make a hot
He's not with his
couple.
wife anymore, so you know.
Correct. It would be so very interesting. I'll just call it that. um, I'm just beyond. I do want to start off by saying, if you are in the Denver area, my friends, there are going to be some Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion watch parties. I have been coordinating things with a few different venues, and I landed on one for Salt Lake City, and it is going to be at Marigold, Denver. And it is going to be fun. Listen, this is a little bit Scandival-esque in that sense. And yeah, it's like back to our roots almost, but it's newer Housewives. So that's going to be happening January 16th and January 23rd. It's going to be airing at 6 p.m. at Marigold, Denver. Send me a DM if you have any questions. I put up a post about it. But if I don't get right back to you, just know it's because Instagram or whatever filtered my messages and I couldn't see. So I know, you know how they do that sometimes where you're like, I have no requests. And then you open it and there were like 500.
Well,
And
there's
you're
like
like, oops,
7 folders behind the
so
request
many.
wall, and you're like, "Why do you have these all separated like this? Can I
So
just have a
confusing.
spam inbox primary? Like, can we
Right?
just keep it simple? Because I feel like I miss out on a lot. I've been going in there actually to check because
Yeah.
not all of the messages are spam,
No.
you
It's
know? And
so
so
annoying how
I'm
it does
like,
that.
"Oh, crap. I need to talk to you offline about this because I've been trying to do this watch party thing in my
Mm.
area for like at least a year, and I just can't seem to wrap my head around it. I don't know how to get it. Like,
Just
I've
start
reached out
reaching
to
out.
venues, it just seems like such a pain, but there are people interested in it. So,
Mhm. Listen, the best way to do it, I'll say, and especially this is info for anyone who is not in Georgio's area or my area. If you want there to be a watch party because you want to get together with other Bravo besties, the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to do a search on what venues hosted Scandival watch parties. That means, in my thought process, they would be willing to do it again. I first reached out DMs, but then I wasn't hearing anything because, again, that request folder. So go ahead, email them. And if you can try and get as many people as you can together, go for it. And a lot of places are interested because it's on a Tuesday. You know, it's not their Friday or Saturday night, brings in some revenue. It tends to be worth it for everyone all around. And you get to meet new people. It kind of becomes like this mini BravoCon, which is super fun.
there's
Which,
a
yeah.
place right down the street that I think it would be perfect for. I think I just need to walk in there and just be like, "Look, maybe do I need to make a PowerPoint presentation? I can do that."
No, I'm not going to require you to do PowerPoint, but if you feel like it would help, then do it. You know what I mean? Just whatever is going to land the deal for you.
I need to make it happen.
I think you do too, because it's really fun to meet people in your area who are actually, Bravo fans too. So, going with that, okay, let's just start with Andy did say on Andy Radio that part 3 of the reunion is going to be supersized. And excuse me. And Andy said that they were going to mostly focus on real can I talk? I'm losing my voice. Excuse me. It is 26 degrees outside, and I think it's getting to me. I'm blaming that. He also said that they are going to focus on reality Von Tease. So I'm very interested to see how that goes. That is for sure. Another thing is this lends to whether or not we wonder if Monica will be coming back. I don't know if you noticed that Whitney is now following Monica on Instagram.
And so is Meredith.
Meredith is not. Last I
Oh, I
checked last night.
oh, I saw someone post that Meredith started refollowing her. Did
I
she
did too.
unfollow?
I don't know, but last night I was doing my search because I was gonna make myself a TikTok video. I don't know why I have to say it like I'm from Ohio. Just bear with me. Um, so I have problems. And yeah, I could only see that Whitney was. Interesting to me.
I kind of felt watching part 1 that Whitney was gonna cave and, like,
Totally.
kind of give her some grace, if you will.
Mhm.
I do
Mhm.
think Meredith will come around. I know I said this, I think, last week or the week before, but I feel like the only ones that are probably not gonna jump to wanting to interact with her, obviously, it's Heather, um, and Lisa Barlow. But I
Mhm.
think even Lisa will eventually probably turn the corner.
Yeah, I think we do stay on top of Whitney's neck because she can drive us nuts almost in the way like uh, a little sister can. But I do think at Whitney's heart, she is a very sweet person. She can just, like I said, kind of get to you like a little sister. Does that kind of resonate with you at all?
1000%. Yeah, she
Hmm.
can be a little gnat sometimes, but
Hmm.
you love
Not a
her and,
teddy nap.
she means she means well most of the time, but also she's on a TV show and she's being pulled in different directions to try to make things happen, as they all are. So, I genuinely thought that this proved that Jen Shaw is not needed for them
Thank
to
you.
move on and have a successful show. So,
I agree. Yeah, don't ask Jen Shaw that. I mean, you might have to send a letter in order to ask her that, but you know. So should we just go ahead and jump into the reunion?
let's
I
do it.
may as well. The girls had to pray to Archangel Michael before they go.
Of course. Who doesn't?
I mean, yeah. And I do want to say this. We were pretty tough on their looks. A lot of them actually had what I would refer to as the sitting down dresses. Meredith,
Yes.
not so much.
That necklace is throwing me off. It's too long.
And Inspector Gadget type of necklace. The magnifying
What,
glass,
is
it's
it
a
a
little bit
magnifying
much.
glass?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. Looked like a
Yeah. We don't do the long, at least now. It'll probably come back, but we don't do the long, heavy necklaces anymore, just like we don't do the statement necklaces anymore, my friends. Not that I'm the complete and total authority on fashion, but that being said, now something that's getting to me, Whitney is one of the most beautiful women on all of Bravo, in my opinion. What did they do to her hair? I Her makeup's lovely. It's that you can see her extensions and I'm like, what you have to try in my opinion, to not make Whitney look perfect. And listen, glam team, hair team, what are you doing? What was that? Why is her hair back like that?
It's not just the hair. It is the makeup. It's the dress. It's like she rolled out of bed and was like, "Oh crap, I didn't buy a reunion dress. Oh crap." And just went in there and grabbed something and then just grabbed a bunch of hair extensions and they just went in and just shuffled them in and just pulled the shit back. And I'm just like, even her eye makeup, like in the close-up shots, I'm like, her eye makeup is like, it's like she's been wearing it since last night. It's just very odd. It's like, why? I mean, whatever. But I will say that the reunion look much better sitting down.
They did. Yeah. She's kind of channeling Shannon Bedore a little bit there. Okay. So Andy brings up to the women when they sit down that this is the first time they've seen each other since Bermuda, which BravoCon, that we have to remember, this is the only show Housewives franchise that did not get a panel. And we thought it was only because they hadn't had their reunion yet. But I think clearly it's because they were really trying to protect this finale. And they did a fantastic job protecting it. So I'm okay with that. But I'm guessing they didn't really interact much because for the meet and greets, Monica, I remember she was with like Sutton. Gosh, I can't remember who else, but I didn't ever see her with them. I saw Monica at BravoCon After Dark, and certainly Baby Gorgeous and Heather Gay were not there. Neither was Whitney. But I just, yeah. Monica says that it's the other ladies that have gotten together without her. And Andy's just kind of like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But he wasn't saying it like that. So he just made it seem like they all haven't hung out, but he should have specified like.
yes, sorry for hitting my mic there. Excuse me. I'm not used to wearing turtlenecks, but like I said, there's 26 degrees here in Colorado. Okay, I will never get over it. Andy says he has to bring up the Jen Shaw of it all. Of course he does, right? We know. And it's interesting to me that Heather says that they were worried that the proverbial they, as in the fans, would want the same type of drama and toxicity that Jen brought. And she says they were really excited to get the opportunity to prove themselves in that regard. But did they prove themselves in that regard? Because did we not get Monica. I don't want to say Monica's a softer version of Jen because clearly a less felon version of Jen, maybe more of a misdemeanor version of Jen.
This is, I would say, Jen's little sister who just moved back into town. She's Jen Shaw adjacent. So she does have some of those. She's very comfortable to embellish and lie. I will say that. Like
Very
comfortable.
clearly.
So that is a bit alarming for
Mhm.
someone who tries to come off so honest and blunt and like whatever. And then you find out, oh, that's not really how it went or what you wrote, you know? So it's interesting.
Mhm.
But I also agree that the like I don't know what the season would have been if Monica hadn't been on there. Like I don't
That's
know.
the
Maybe
question.
there would have been other things. Who knows? I mean, but they definitely would not have had a finale like that. I mean, Time Magazine is talking about Salt Lake City. Hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello.
Exactly. That's the point. Is it's like, friends, while we don't like the toxicity, and I don't want that for the women that we do really adore and tolerate, I also have to say that what would we have gotten had this not been what it was? And that's where I see so many Bravo content creators really just railing in on Monica. And I'm not saying a lot of it isn't deserved. So I don't want to sound like I'm super neutral, but I am very much team everyone in a weird way that I'm not used to being. And I'm kind of like, well, what do y'all want? Because it's like you wouldn't have gotten this just incredible finale if it weren't for everything with Monica, but then you're just laying into her about the size of her home and things like that. And it kind of bugs me and it makes it a little more elitist than it needs to be. Y'all, it's Bravo. Yes, the women are supposed to be aspirational, but look at Monica. She's very, very beautiful. Okay. Let's just start with that. She's aspirational just physically. There and listen, I don't know that many people who are able to have that many children, have a Range Rover, whether it even be with their parents' help or even have a home, whether it is actually 3,000 square feet. So I don't know. It depends on your version of aspirational. You know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
think the issue is she sometimes makes things seem more than they are. So I think someone
Yeah.
had pointed out that her house is not 3,000 square foot. She might be including the land, like, total lot,
Right.
3,000 square feet. But I think someone had said that it was probably like more closer to like the living space was more like 1,000 square feet. Nonetheless, I don't really care actually about that stuff. When I
Mm-mm.
talk about aspirational, it's more about a vibe.
Yeah.
And I don't want a bunch because not every housewife is at the top of the financial charts by any means.
Right.
There's a select few that, yes, they are rolling in the dough with or without the show. Okay.
Mhm.
Monica coming on the show doesn't bother me because she doesn't have what the other women have. And I would have actually preferred her to, like, because I feel like they will bring her back for another season. I do.
Yeah.
I know everyone's leaning towards no, and I see like Lisa Barlow's point. She played all her cards, everything's out. What's next? But I think I look at it like this. This could easily be wrapped up like this was her vomit season. She vomited
Mhm.
all her toxicity out and she got it out. So
Mm.
next season, when she comes back, she doesn't have to answer the questions to some of these things because she's kind of just laying it all out now. Now,
Yeah.
whether or not she's telling the truth about all of it, that remains to be seen. But at the end of the day, she did impact the show positively. Now, I don't personally care for the character in which she's portraying, not because she's a
Right.
villain. I didn't even view her as the villain, if I'm honest. I know a lot of people are like, oh, she's the villain. I didn't see her as the villain. I saw her as someone who came on, a fan of the show, essentially, that got her wish. And she was thrilled at the experience. And actually, someone made a TikTok. I wish I would have saved it, but they were basically like, "Oh, you other Bravo accounts, don't act like you wouldn't have jumped at the chance of being on a Bravo show, and quick to delete your little troll account." And that may be true for a troll account, but like if you or I were called for a Bravo show and we said yes, I wouldn't be scared that they would pull that Giorgio says account up.
No,
Because it's like, well, I'm not faceless. I put myself out there. It's
right.
like ridiculous to think that I would try to pretend now that it's like, what? No, not me. But she was a troll account. So it is a little bit different. And I too would be a little hesitant to trust someone who was able to move like that and stay, behind the scenes as much as she did. But, times are changing, TV's changing, the things we want to see are clearly changing. The Gypsy Rose of it all. But anyways, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole because I have a ton of opinions and I know people are going to think that I'm being a hater. So I'm not going to go there.
That's the second time she's been brought up to me today. Gypsy Rose,
Well, it's a little odd, not to go off topic, but like really quick, it is a little odd that she's just come out and now she's like all over the media and the social medias and everyone's interviewing her. And it's like, get her some help. The girl's been through quite a bit of trauma.
Yeah.
Why are we like exploiting her for views and likes?
That's a fair point.
Some of you bloggers and vloggers out there.
Yeah.
You guys jump on the chance and it's not authentic. You guys don't really care about her. Anyways, I'm going to stop before I get myself.
Well, no, I mean, I understand because she's not a celebrity and didn't start out seeking celebrity. This is something that was done to her and then she did something. And yeah, no, I hear what you're saying and I am in agreement. Okay. So, it's brought up the whole ring thing. Monica was saying to Andy mostly that looking from the outside, she sees everyone as perfect with their marriages, their homes, and careers, and she felt like she didn't belong. And that's where the endearing moment of her buying the handbag, which later did get thrown in her face, which I didn't think was totally fair to throw in her face. Was the statement wrong later on? No. But it was kind of like, okay, the one moment this woman was vulnerable on this show and was being, well, if she hadn't been speaking to LD, I think it would have been more real. But it's anything at this point with LD, I don't take as being genuine because her mom, as y'all know from the last episode we did, I played where the unbeknownst to LD recording that got leaked by Tanisha of her mother telling Monica that you're an actress. It's your job. So let's pretend we don't have that for a second. I know. Let's try. Okay. Because it's been a little out of control. Tanisha's going on every other podcast and then Monica's trying to say on Twitter that Tanisha's being paid. And I do happen to know people who were planning to have her on their podcast and things like that. They were not paying her. So, yeah, that's all I can say about that. I do know some more things, but I just want to respect some, privacy and private conversations I've had. I will let it be known whenever I can. I'm not trying to withhold anything. I'm just saying there are things that I know are coming, but
whatever it is, I think that Tanisha wouldn't have been so loud if Monica hadn't thrown her name out on public television
immediately to
throw her out there as the scapegoat for all of this. So yeah, I get why people, and listen, we probably don't know all the ins and outs of what Tanisha's like involvement was really, right? No. But you started it, Monica, but you can't turn around now and play victim. It's going to be hard for me to have empathy for her, knowing that a lot of her stories were not
genuine.
Yeah. And also learning that her mom initially went to New York because she wanted a career in television says a lot.
When the entertainment business calls, Georgio.
Baby.
Yeah. I just want to say hi to a few people real quick. I see And I don't know the name behind the account. It says not paid by, but I just want to say hi to you. Hi, Irene, Adam. And then we've got Jay Trader said hi, Georgio.
Hi, Jay.
And I just wanted to say
Adam.
hi to a few of you here in the chat. Okay. So again, the ring. Now, it's very difficult for me to hear the word ring after filming yet another that I said I would not be filming. Bravo Girly series part 4. Four of them for TikTok. I'm a Bravo girly. So, when I hear you say the word rumors,
I want to do that, but I
do
can't
it.
come up with I get jumbled.
I'll help
The only
you.
thing I could master was the Kelly Osbourne soundbite for Dorit and Garcelle's situation.
We'll work on it, Georgio. Don't you worry. And I did the whole thing of Kim Zolciak, the worst of it, where it was the whoa, and now all I can hear is the ring didn't mean. Okay, I'm done. So the ring that did mean a thing. This Monica says that her issue with Lisa in the ring was that she kept saying 60,000, 60,000, 60,000, and Lisa's like, actually, it was 58,000, and I only said it 3 times. And Andy's face, I was like, I think Andy's face was all of us. We were all like,
Oh, I love Lisa, but you definitely said it more than 3 times, my dear. I love you.
We know we love Lisa here. We are Barlow hoes.
Listen, Barlow hoes. Oh my God.
You haven't heard me
I
say
love
that?
it.
I'm a Barlow hoe.
No, but I love it. I'm a Barlow hoe and a
Yeah.
slutton. What does that say about me
Slutton,
exactly?
and I used to say, and I still love Heather Gay. I'd say I was a gay bae. So I don't know. Like I said, I have problems.
She only said it 3 times and it was 58,000, not 60. Calm down, everyone.
Yeah, calm down. God. We find out that it was sentimental to her because of what sounds like maybe a traumatic birth with Henry, and they thought they were going to lose him and all of that. And so Monica's like, but that is beautiful. That's beautiful. I didn't know that. And it's like something like that. Maybe Lisa didn't want to share it. And no, it was not Lisa's obligation to share specifically why that ring was sentimental. I think that's why now that we know that, I think that's why she just kept repeating it was 60,000, because she knew that would mean more to the women than it than just her personal story at the end of the day.
But to be fair to Lisa, she did say it's a sentimental ring. So if I were Monica, I would have taken the approach of, oh wow, why is it sentimental to you? Where does that come from? Like I guess I'm just more inquisitive. Like I would get to know people a little bit more. So I would ask the question, like, why is it so sentimental? And if she chose not to tell me, or she did and they cut it out for whatever, and that's fine. But like to jump to this like elitist approach that Monica took from the jump was like a little off-putting, and it's like, okay, well, almost like, why are we hanging out with someone so poor if we can't even get dressed up? Yeah. I'm not laughing at the fact that her finances are not where the rest of the women are.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Hadn't even said anything about anything regarding that when it pertained to her. They kind of all welcomed her in, like,
yeah.
So.
And I don't think they really cared if she was carrying a Louis Vuitton bag or not, because as I said before, baby girl, you live in Salt Lake City. Don't get the white leather handbag. Get the faux fur or something. I don't know. Okay. And if you're going to get one, I'm not even going to say it. Okay, whatever. It's all beautiful. All right.
No, if you're going to get one, go invest in the gate or something and make sure it is spot on and do your research. That's all. That's what most of these housewives are doing. You think they're all going to the Louis Vuitton store and the Chanel boutique to buy their handbags? I'm not saying anyone on this cast is wearing fake, but I'm just saying across the franchises.
Yeah, a lot of them I could see a lot of fun names in the system when I was at YSL. I'd be like, what if she came in? Anyway, okay, so the thing is, Monica keeps telling Lisa too that Lisa said to her that John had just bought it for her. And this is again where it's like Monica takes something and runs with it. Also, how old is Henry? He's young. He's what, maybe 11?
12 maybe?
Yeah, that's not, if he bought it for Lisa when he was born, that's still not an incredibly old diamond ring because diamonds are supposed to be forever. And so I don't know, it just was the first moment that we were like, "Oh, Monica, you are so." It's something that you and I know, you know what I'm talking about, Georgio, where you can see this in certain Bravo content creators that they're not just Bravo, but pop culture content creators, I should say, where it's like, "Oh, but well, what I heard." And it's always like about the salacious thing that they heard and how they have more inside info than you do. And, you know, you know what I'm talking about. And that's the vibe I did get from her in this moment and in a few moments where I was like, "Oh, you are one of those accounts." And especially when we got the flashbacks in the finale of Heather saying like, the way Monica handles sensitive information is disturbing. And it to us, I don't know how to explain this any other way. To us, it's not disturbing because we're used to seeing people doing that. But at the same time, it's like I'm seeing that specific type of content creator who is only all about being the one in the room with the most and the juiciest information that they think everyone's going to go, "Wait, how do you know that?" And they think everyone's going to just bow down to them having some juicy gossip. And that's just the vibe I was getting after being around certain people who are like that. Now, me, whenever someone acts that way, because, and I've told you a few times, that you and I encountered people like that, I'd be like, "Okay, cool. If that's what you know, that's great. Good for you." And I'd move on. And you know what? That's how you troll a troll, is by saying nothing, not
But there's
acting
also
interested.
people that will unnecessarily divulge things like as
Yes.
if that's part of their resume. Like not too long ago, there was a creator who did a live and had to tell everyone how busy they were and how many houses they've acquired through their audience and like throwing it back in their face. Like it's weird to me. First of all, it's weird. I'm not of the mindset, like, I don't care what people have. I don't
Mm-mm.
size people up based on that, and I don't feel the need to have to showboat around any type of group of people
Mm-mm.
just to feel like I'm who I am. So, and let's be honest, a lot of people, that's all they care about
Yeah.
is the status of having the wealth, and she reminds me of a bratty teenager that you just don't want around because she
Mm.
doesn't know how to fight within
Without
the
being
space
dirty.
she's in without going for the low-hanging fruit. And she was running an account that was one of those Twitter X accounts that's faceless, that all they do is go dig up some random thing about, "Oh, this person's merch was spotted at Marshall's. So sad for you." Like they give a crap. They already sold it off the first time. They don't care where it ends up. Like
Mhm.
stuff like that is kind of the stuff that Monica was doing, which is why she needed to drive by people's houses and know where people lived so that she could really size it up and have this insider information. And now
Yeah.
she's on the show. And I think the thing that bothers some people is that you pretended like you didn't know.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. And let me also just kind of be clear, just from living in LA, when I would meet certain people, and I had grown up in Oklahoma, that people that I already absolutely knew who they were, but I it took me a minute to figure out how to navigate when I would meet someone and they expected me to already know who they were, things like that. I would kind of force people to just tell me their first name because that's what normal people do, right? But then at a certain point, you can't act like you don't know anything about them. But when you're doing introductions, it's polite. Don't expect everyone in the room to know your name, type of thing. That lends to the point that you're making, which is her pretending she had no idea. It's weird to do that. It's weird. You worked for Jen Shaw, all of it. It's weird. It's weird. It just makes you less believable. It doesn't endear you to anyone by pretending you don't know who they are. And I don't know if she did that as a defense mechanism, things like walking into Merida's store saying, "Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Oh my God, I've never been here." Like, just, mm,
To me, she would have been more badass if she came from the jump and was like, "Yeah, I worked for Jen Shaw. Yeah, I know. I've heard a lot about you guys."
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Exactly.
that to me would have been badass. That would have been like, "Yeah, she's coming full throttle with this. She's heard all these things about you guys. Now she'll get to know if it's true or not." She
Mhm.
didn't. She almost took this approach of like,
Oh my gosh. What?
"Oh, people are saying Angie's husband. Like, are you the one that's saying it?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, Monica kept doubling down that Lisa had told her she had just bought the ring.
She didn't say that.
She didn't. The cameras showed us, at least on camera, that was never picked up. And when Lisa goes, okay, but it doesn't mean I'm not relatable to the middle class. It doesn't mean I'm not part of the 1%, that I'm part of the 1%.
She's like, "I could be poor sometimes too, or
Yeah.
look it."
I know what a Kia is.
First
Michael
of all,
Kors.
she is so East Coast. That is not the vibe. Like most East Coast people, they may have nice stuff, but they're not West Coasty about it. Like they're not like delusional. Like
Quiet
Lisa
luxury.
Barlow knows what middle class is. And
Mhm.
that's why it threw me off when she was trying to throw her in this bucket of like this elite snob. She's not a snob. She likes what she likes, but she's allowed to say what she likes, just like Monica's allowed to say what she wants to say on the
Yeah.
internet before she joins the show.
It's Lisa. She let us know from the beginning, I love Taco Bell and I also love fine dining. That
Yes,
has
and we
been
love
Lisa
her
from
more for
the
that.
beginning.
We love her more for that.
Monica, baby doll, I need you to do your research on what the 1% is. It's not Shaquille O'Neal. Maybe he is technically part of the 1%, but maybe, I don't know, like Jeff
He's
Bezos,
definitely in the
Bill
top
Gates,
10%.
Koch
I mean, he's
brothers.
worth almost 140 million, so that's a sizable amount of money.
Chump
But
change.
look, I think that she is superficial about all of this, and I think
Mhm.
maybe she thought the show was going to be something different than what it actually was.
Mhm.
And now she realizes, like, yeah, there still has to be a sense of authenticity because you will
Yeah.
get questioned about it. We have us who investigate things through and through.
Mhm.
Things
Mhm.
will come out, but she should have known that because she was on this side, faceless, but
There you
on this side. So
go.
why would you think going into this, if you watch the show and you know Jen was on the show, why would you think that none of this would come up?
That's the $1,000,000 question. So I'm curious to see what surely Andy is going to ask that. My thought is surely, right?
You would hope.
Well, and then eventually it's kind of brought up how the internet actually kind of created the rumor that they thought Monica took the ring. Something that would have been good to know is that Monica didn't even enter the bathroom until 20 to 30 minutes after Lisa's ring went missing. Still, it doesn't completely, what's the word I'm looking for? Exonerate her. God. Um, but I mean, it does paint a different picture. And it's basically admitted by Heather that they kind of thought that, but no, absolutely, they did not start. She and Lisa did not start those rumors, even though Monica thought they did. And when Monica is saying that this is actually like really damaging and it's easy and it's stereotypical. Okay, I feel you on that. That's fair. Just because she's the person with the lowest in the lowest tax bracket, it really isn't fair to assume that she would have taken the ring. And I've been saying from the get, I don't think she took that ring. I really don't believe she did. I don't think she is that stupid or impulsive. I think she's incredibly impulsive, but not that impulsive.
I don't think she's felony like she's
No.
not. She may do some like petty stuff or has done petty stuff, but I don't think a $60,000 ring would have been worth whatever she thought it was going to be. Because again, I think I said this the other day. You can track that. Like the insurance on that ring can
Yeah.
be tracked. So if she did go hack it somewhere for cash,
Mhm.
they would be able to trace it back to who sold it to them.
Yeah, exactly.
So why, like,
It's
she's
too
not
easy.
that dumb.
No.
But in
Mm-mm.
other ways, she kind of comes off very juvenile to me. Like she's like new to all of this, and she's not.
Yeah. I think I don't think she's made a decision on what side of the fence she wants to play here because she's trying to play both. And by the side of the fence, I mean, there's the side where Monica could be, okay, I'm actually the smart, badass gossip girl, villainess, and the vigilante, or I'm the victim who didn't really do anything that bad. So she needs to make her decision and stick with it because it it ruins does this make sense? Like it ruins each side she tries to play when we've just seen her trying to be very victim-esque in all of it when she's trying to act like the badass saying, "Oh, I know this about you and that about you." It just pick a side, pick a lane, girl. Pick a
Like I
lane
said, she should have come out with it
from the
and
get.
she should have told the story about Reality Von Teese before they even found out, because nothing that she says after that is going to make it believable. She should have come out from the gate and said, "Yup, I was one of 6 people that started this troll account, and it was mainly to take down Jen Shaw. But yes, I've heard a lot of things about all of you, and I'm just happy that I can actually get to know you guys now." Like, I strongly feel like new housewives need someone like moi to help give them a little course on how to kind of keep some of the cards close to the chest and put some things forward to not put themselves in this predicament. But we're all thankful that it worked out the way it did, obviously, because we have a lot of virality out of the finale, the whole drama, the wind, the remixes that are coming out with the sound bites. And you know what? TikTok, I'm on live right now with you guys. Shout out to my TikTok audience.
Hi.
I need to say, can we leave T. Kyle alone and stop copywriting, striking his stuff, his remixes, his mega mixes?
I have no idea who that is, but I'm with you.
He's the one behind the mix that I did with the Sunnies. He did like a huge mega mix. You guys should go check it out. But yes, I get the entertainment value that this all brought the show, because it was just like a murder mystery on steroids without
It really
the murder,
was.
But like, I can't buy into Monica. There's just something, I don't know what's real and what's not with her, because I don't trust that the relationship with her mom is as bad as she makes it. And if it is, where is the therapy? Where is I wish she would have stuck to one problem.
I think that's her life is she's not able to. I think she's got so many that she just, it's
They literally squeezed in everything. Usually they would cut some of that out and then wait to save it for later. But they were like, no, let's just put it all out. Mommy issues, money issues, Twitter troll account.
It makes her, we'll say, a well-rounded person, right? And then when Angie starts cracking up at Monica for saying that it was easy and stereotypical of them to accuse her, I am so sorry. I know we love Angie, but I clutched my pearls so hard my hand reached through my own ribcage because Monica goes to Angie, "Why are you talking, benchwarming bitch? Shut up. This doesn't involve you like most of the season." I was like, oh.
But see, that's not even true. That's not even true. First of all, Angie was pretty much the entire major thing that happened. What are you talking about?
But it was still so funny to me. I don't even know.
We couldn't even get to the first commercial break and already someone's being screamed at. You know what I mean?
I think part of why those moments is if someone pisses me off in the moment, I say this all the time, I'm going to be like, yeah, well, and I'm going to walk away. I'm going to be taking a shower 2 days later and be like, "And another thing, bitch." And it's never when I need it. And so I'm always, not that it's a good quality to have, but I am in awe of people who are able to just bam with that quick comeback like that, because then I always end up stopping myself before I'm going to be mean, because I'm like, oh, don't be mean, Caitlin. Don't be an asshole. And so, yeah, I don't know. It always just fascinates me.
I'm the type of person that I am cool as a cucumber, but if you piss me off, for real piss me off, I'm going to come rip your throat. It's done. I'm a bulldog. I don't care. I will say the nastiest thing and go for it, but I'm not going to go for it like that. That was too you could have just been I'm not talking to you right now. You know what I mean? Like that would have been fun. But she was like, "You bench warming bitch." It's just like, oh my gosh.
I'm
We've
so
only been
sorry.
sitting here for like what seems to be 5 minutes.
I'm so sorry. I'm a bad person. I still find it so
It was
fucking
hilarious.
funny.
Hilarious. But in the moment without the music and it just being silent and echoey in there, you know, because they're in the sound stage at a hotel.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the like just what that experience is like just sitting there without the edits and the like cue up music of just her being like, you bench warming, like it's just like, and whatever else she probably said that they didn't show,
Especially,
you know?
yeah, especially after her silently clicking her heels in the see you next Tuesday-ist way coming down the stairs. I was like, listen, I would have been getting bricks if I were her walking down those stairs, okay? Like I would have been in a diaper. I would have had to wear 4 layers of Spanx just to keep from fully shitting my pants, okay? And she walked in, I don't care. And I'm not saying that's admirable, but I'm saying, God damn, I don't understand. There are no amount of benzos in the world that could get me to that level that she was at. Period.
Well, also, I thought it was interesting that they gave her a similar entrance like they did Raquel, where they just singled her shot coming down the stairs, like,
Yep.
because it's such a, like, they're really, like, playing off of that Scandival vibe, you know, with this a little bit. But, you know,
Don't hate it.
if she's going to be this out there about it, then she should just come down the stairs and own it because it's like, it's all out there.
You know, Raquel acted contrite. Monica, oh, she was guns blazing. So we get to the point where it's asked how exactly Monica came to work with Jen. Now, Bravo and Blaze had done a whole thing on this where when Monica was married to her husband, her husband ended up going to work for Jen as a handyman, and she found him on Thumbtack. And Monica, I'm sure, was like, "Oh my God, Jen Shaw, I'm coming with you. Bree, you can take care of the babies, right?" She went, take care of the little one. And eventually, Monica's version is that they became genuine friends. Again, this is her version. I'm not saying it is accurate, but that she would help Jen with her life, getting her groceries, making sure she gets on time to meetings and things like that. And Andy brings up whether or not Jen was paying her, and she says no. And Andy makes the point, yes, why are you taking time away from your children to help someone who is not paying you, not furthering some career for you, nothing. And Heather then asks why she was doing it. And Monica reiterates that they were friends. And Heather says, so you didn't like Kim K started out as an assistant and look where it got her. You're not like, oh, I'll start out as an assistant and see where it gets me. And Monica's like, no. And Heather's like, I've got something to play for you. And it's an audio recording, which she, very gratefully to her, held right up to her own little mic. And it's a recording of Monica that she sent to Tanisha and Tanisha sent to Heather. And it's Monica. Now here comes the cursing. If you don't like it, just mute for a second. Fucking Kim Kardashian was a fucking assistant. Look at that bitch now. Now I can fully admit that the reason I was an assistant and putting up with that shit was as a stepping stone, as a learning experience.
For what?
Exactly. If you didn't want to get in the show, why would you be doing that?
What? Because in my opinion, all the things that she listed out that she was doing for Jen as a friend is what an assistant would do. Get groceries, make sure that the person's getting out of bed and heading to their meeting on time. Getting the mail, picking up packages, dropping off packages. But if you're doing all that for free, see, here's where I'm not buying it. You were getting money under the table.
Thank you.
Because you knew what type of business she was running. You're an opportunist and you're somebody that plays someone's friend until you get something out of them. And when you don't get something or there's something better that comes along, you will toss that person to the side like you did Tanisha. Yeah, I said it. Yep. Because you were comfortable to throw Tanisha under the bus on the finale. And now you want to play victim to what Tanisha's doing, which you can say what you want about it, but if I was Tanisha, I would do the same thing. If my name was yelled out on a finale like that, saying that
I'd
I
prove
was
I
the one
wasn't,
behind
yeah.
control, I would be the next minute pulling up everything I had on her
the proof.
around this whole thing, and I would be popping it all over the internet, going live. So yeah, I don't blame Tanisha for this, but I'm not saying like Tanisha's not on the show though.
No, Tanisha's not like a content creator. I don't think Tanisha knows how to navigate this. You know what I'm saying? Like in a way that maybe you or I would navigate that. We would keep it a little cleaner and more precise. But that's not what Tanisha's not a content creator. She's not a TV personality. This is not something she was, from what we can tell, aiming to be a part of. You know, it's a thought that just came to me is remember how Lisa said at the skating rink to Monica that she had fake Chanel? It wouldn't surprise me if the way Jen Shaw was paying Monica under the table was by giving her quote unquote Chanels that we now know when the federal government seized those assets that most of them were fakes. So maybe that's where Monica got her fake Chanel.
Well, listen, all my years working in luxury and like
Mhm.
Chanel was one of the ones that it didn't matter how good a fake of it was, you always knew it wasn't real. That is one
Yeah.
of the hardest bags outside of the Birkin to replicate. So yeah, people wouldn't be surprised if she was being paid through things and cash under the table. And
Mhm.
that's the really sticky part about all this. We won't really know, but we also don't believe Jen Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I care about what her response to this is because I'm like, I don't
No.
believe you either. Those are both lies.
No. So then Monica ends up saying, after being hounded about, well, were you trying to actually get on the show? And Monica says, well, I applied just like everyone here did. And no, we all know that these women were approached or referred. But when she's asked what she said to casting, she straight up bold-faced lies and says to them that she told casting and sent them this email saying, my name is Monica Fowler and your show sucks and your ratings are shit and it's going to get canceled because you don't have the right cast. Well, production was like, hell no, is this bitch going to lie on us? Because this is what she sent. Reaching out in regards to your casting call, would love more information on what needs to be done or how to move forward. You guys need a feisty, excommunicated Latina on the show immediately. I'm your girl, Monica F.
At 11:50 something at night.
After a few glasses of wine. Then Monica says she thinks she did the right thing, that everyone there should have done the right thing regarding speaking to federal investigators. They did not reach out to Monica. Monica sought them out. And, you know, I'm just going to keep going because I know Georgio's limited on time. So something that I really want to remind people that I know I saw even like very dedicated Bravo content creators were confused by. When Whitney says eventually after they were talking with Monica about the whole affair with her brother-in-law, the way that almost stopped there, the whole thing about how she felt like she was being called a whore and things like that. Whitney says, it hits different when the internet comes after you and trolls come after you with nasty things because I too admitted I had an affair and been called every name in the book. And you're thinking you're over it and you get on a show and it takes off and it's really hard. Whitney and Justin got together via having an affair together. If y'all recall at the beginning
Okay,
of
this is what we were trying to figure this out because Jeff asked me, he's like, did she have the affair with him?
yes.
And I was like, I don't think so, but maybe, I don't know.
And she don't even see this is where the Bravo vault in Caitlin's brain. They remember the very first pilot, it was Whitney and Justin renewing their vows. And she had said they had an affair and she got pregnant with Bobby and they got married. They were excommunicated, got married, and she wore her prom dress to get married to him. And so that's one of the ways that they decided, one of the reasons they decided.
Was it the same prom dress she wore to this reunion? I was just asking. I don't.
No, you know, that prom dress she's wearing now has some very interesting knots in it. It's very
Also, someone found the source of it. It's only $70, so good on her for being cost effective at least.
relatable queen. Okay.
Exactly.
So we get to, oh man, because I took so many notes that probably weren't necessary. All I know is I still was cracking up at Whitney in drag with Meredith yelling, that
So it's your cousin's sister-in-law's child has a headache.
and Meredith, don't you go there. You will take a sick child who will suffer for the rest of his life to weaponize against me. Don't you dare. I was like, oh my God, someone get an exorcist. There's going to be pea soup all over the
That
wall.
voice goes so low, so fast. It's
Yeah,
remarkable.
truly. And so they basically all come to this conclusion after Meredith says that she doesn't deflect when backed into a corner with something going on in her life, which is basically like the whole premise of this. That, Whitney did make the fairly valid point that, yeah, Meredith, whenever she's backed into that corner, she'll say something that it's like, oh, something terrible going on. And it's like, well, now I can't say shit to that. And Meredith tells them after getting some flashbacks of her saying, I'm disengaging. I'm not engaging. I am not engaging. Thank you very much. She says, I have no problem walking out on my own 2 feet with no excuse. You've seen it 100 times. So don't put it on me that I'm making up excuses to trivialize things that were hurting May. It's just not nice. So, okay. You and I talked about a few things via text where we felt like we were losing our ever loving minds. Lisa brings up at this point, that basically everyone processes things differently. And the whole interaction between her and Whitney at the jewelry event, Lisa relays that she immediately went to hug Whitney as soon as she set down the gifts she brought Heather and was asking, are you okay? I don't remember ever seeing that.
No, and they show the clip again as if they were going to prove to us that that's what happened, and still I didn't see that. So am I that's why we were texting. I'm like, do I need to go back and rewatch the episode? Did I miss it? Maybe she did and they just cut it out on purpose to not.
Well, yeah, what they showed us was Lisa asking, are you okay? Are you okay? Oh my God. And Heather just being like, oh, I know, so sad. But then in Bermuda, eventually we get to that where Whitney admits, because Lisa and Heather are like, no, you got mad at Lisa for asking, are you okay too many times. And I get it. There are a lot of people who don't want to be asked, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? It can be too much for some people. But to say Lisa was acting like she didn't care, I was like, what are you talking about? You said, yeah, because you're making me feel like I'm supposed to not be okay. Well, what do you want her to do at this point?
It's insane.
It was just
they totally were making a thing of it. That's why I think Lisa was so frustrated in that scene. Because I think she was like, she felt like this was all going to turn around, like they were going to try to make her look bad. So I think that's why we got that little blow up of her, when she was like, look this.
Yeah. Exactly. So then we get to some of the viewer questions, and Real Andy of Beverly Hills got one in where this was the other moment that you and I were like, what? What are they talking about? When it's asked why Angie forgave Monica so quickly and not Meredith. And Angie explains her main focus at that moment was on Meredith, and that when Monica was crying to her at that coffee shop and she felt empathetic to her regarding her mother and that situation, she was trying to give her a lot of grace. Monica says that Angie keeps phrasing it all as if Monica started the rumor about Sean. And this is Monica implying she did not. And Andy's like, you brought it on national TV though, right? But then what? Lisa says to Angie that Angie believed Monica over her by believing Lisa started it. And it's eventually said by Lisa, I had no idea on Greek Easter that she told you Meredith was not the start of the rumor. She said it wasn't Meredith, it was May. Me as in Lisa. When did that happen? What happened at this Easter brunch?
I think that Easter brunch has a lot of answers to a lot of questions. And for whatever reason, and I'm not sure, actually, I was thinking about this. I wonder, are they going to talk about what Monica was tweeting about how she fell down Angie's steps and all that stuff? Because that is all perplexing. So I think this is what I think happened. And they're just leaving it in because they know that, or they forgot. But I do think that Monica was probably trying to throw it at Lisa to
Yeah.
get Angie to stop being pissed at her and be on Meredith's good side by saying, oh, it wasn't Meredith, it was actually Lisa. But they cut that out, obviously, because I went back and watched that scene, and nowhere in that conversation did I see her say
No,
that.
not once.
I feel like, I don't know. That Greek Easter is a complete mystery.
They better release some of the unseen footage because I don't understand.
Oof.
And coming from the two of us we've been recapping every single episode in detail. There wasn't a ton I missed. Now, I did miss the moment in the cave where Monica had said that this random faceless Instagram account had just DM'd her. Oh my God, can I talk today, Caitlin? Jeez. Had just DM'd her 40 minutes before they went into the cave. That was one of the only things I know for certain I missed, but I don't miss a lot on these shows. I am a little too intense with it, so I don't understand it.
No, they definitely cut it out. It did
Mhm.
not. That would have definitely been brought up more than once if Lisa was the one that she's like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
So strange.
Very. Then it's brought up that when they were in Bermuda, the thing that Whitney was saying to the other girls about her friendship with Lisa was that they wouldn't understand, and it's really that they're just very good friends in real life. They're real friends. And Whitney and Lisa hash their shit out a little bit. And when Andy asks Heather and Lisa if they should now be called Bad Leather, Whitney's like,
Andy, that was the shadiest thing you've ever said.
really?
Not really.
No. Also, poor Justin. He wasn't wearing his wedding ring because it couldn't fit anymore. I've been there. Don't even talk to me. I've been there. Of course, I was pregnant, but I've been there.
Okay, but Justin was not pregnant. That's different.
No, he was not. Excuse me. So it's brought up that Monica actually has finalized her divorce, and they've been separated for 2.5 years. This also caught my attention. The explanation that she was asked to give regarding Bria baby not having any monetary value during their divorce proceedings, because you have to disclose every single little finance when you're going through a divorce. You have to disclose everything down to your gas, the face lotion you buy. Okay. It's ridiculous. But her explanation was that they shut down during COVID. The site is still up and running. You can still buy things. And Heather says that she had bought blankets from her company for friends and they never received them. And Meredith even ends up getting in there a bit of a shady moment of, oh, well, are people getting their orders? And Monica claims she had to refund people. Wasn't there that scene when Monica told her mom about buying the Louis Vuitton bag where she was trying to make Brie help her fold up swaddles to be sent out to customers?
This is what I'm saying. This is all for show.
Mhm.
That business is a shell company.
Mhm.
Okay. She got a PPP loan
There
during
you
COVID
go.
for this business that did nothing. You mean to tell me you went on this show and thought that your business that you went on there saying you had wasn't going to, that people weren't going to try to buy? That's so
It's bizarre.
strange. And then she even
Bizarre.
said, yeah, I'm thinking about maybe restarting it again. Like, what?
It's up. I looked at it. I couldn't find any of the reviews that were negative. I only had so much time looking. I couldn't really find anything. There are pictures of different swaddles laying on a beautiful green leather chair that are all $20. And I mean, I have no use for a swaddle at the moment. So, yeah. When the Sean rumors brought up again, I don't really feel like Angie cleared it up. I was a little confused by what she was trying to say, but Angie points out that which is the best point that Angie made this entire first part, which is that when it came to Monica repeating these rumors, Monica was pretending to be her friend while Meredith didn't pretend to be her friend. And again, Meredith does make me we also love Meredith. Meredith is also mother, but this whole bullshit about saying that when she talked about the husband, that was talking about the marriage. You talk about someone's partner, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their whoever. That's also talking about the relationship if you are saying you heard rumors that that partner cheated. It made me nuts. It made me absolutely nuts. With that, I know you're looking at Bria, baby. Would y'all like to do a very quick, short masterpiece theater?
I mean, who doesn't love a good masterpiece theater?
We're going to do a little masterpiece theater here. My favorite little tidbit of this was the back and forth between Meredith and Angie regarding the rumor. When Angie says it's not okay to talk about someone's husband's sexuality, especially when there's a family and a business and all of that. So Meredith brings up her paper again. And she says, at bare minimum, you have called me a fraud, multiple personality disorder. I'm a lying bitch. You criticized my marriage. You threatened to take a hit out on my family, called me a trampoline with eyes. Georgio forgot to come in with his line as Angie. Oh, excuse me.
That was a compliment.
An addict, that I have used my son as a pawn to take the heat off of me for rumors that I did not spread. So that's why I started rumors about you, that you made me relevant and you threatened me in the cave. Those are just the few I could think of off the top of my head.
Okay, I think I activated you, and you're welcome. I don't know what to say about that.
I didn't need your help, Angie. I've done just fine being relevant on my own without you.
Look, I didn't say you had multiple personality disorder. Your voice was changing. I don't really believe that.
It's undepressed. You saw that.
It was a joke about you having multiple different voices. I would rather call you a trampoline with eyes. That means you have nice, tight skin than say that you're wrinkly. So I would take it as a compliment.
So eventually we get to basically Meredith won't stop doubling down on the belief that she didn't bring up Angie's marriage. And Whitney says the first time she heard the rumors about Sean is when Lisa came into her room when they were in Palm Springs and told her that Meredith said this about Angie's family. One good thing I will give Monica, the only sane thing or right thing she did was say, first of all, I don't want to blame Whitney for what comes out of my mouth. And Whitney thanks her for that. And that's basically the gist of all of it. This first episode was not the craziest. Angie does call out Monica for spending your kids' money on a fucking purse, and you're irresponsible, sending a bad message to your daughters, and she has a Range Rover in a carport. Next week, we're getting Mary shading the shit out of Angie. And again, friends, if you're in the Denver area, come to the watch parties. Check out my Instagram posts on it. I have it up on TikTok. I'll be posting more. Send me a DM. Georgio, tell everyone where we can find you before we go.
I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at Georgio Says. My podcast at Georgio Says is available on all platforms. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Okay, friends, thank you for joining on the live. Please leave a 5-star review, subscribe to YouTube, and just come join us again next week. I'll be here live on Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, 12:30 Pacific. Okay, see you next week, besties. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.